What's going on? If you're here, what's going on? If you're here, that means you wanted to learn more about the high performance nutrition protocol. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm just going to break this down simple as possible so you can implement some of these dieting changes into your life. Listen, we've all been there. You don't really need another diet. You need high performance nutrition that's going to help you drop 15 to 25 pounds and build lean muscle. You need real food, you need easy tracking, and you need a system that's going to work within your body. Diets fail, protocols don't. So diets are restrictive. They take a lot of time. It's not something that's easy to follow every day. What we do here is we make it simple. We have protocols. We have permanent and flexible. It's built for real life. And if you're traveling, client, family, whatever, everything works. You don't have to guess. It's just a one system that works every day of the week, and it makes it so easy for you to be successful in dieting. Now, we have our three pillars to just this program. So we have the macro-based flexibility, which means you're going to use your macros as your guidelines. You don't have to eat the same foods every day. You can eat foods that fall within your macro targets. That's key, because if you're just trying to eat the same thing every day, you're going to get real sick and tired of eating chicken, rice, and broccoli. Trust me, I am speaking from experience. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. You'll lose weight, sure, but then as soon as you're done, you're going to gain it all right back. It's not going to stick. The results won't be permanent, and then you're back right where you were at the start. Hormone optimization. So us as men, as we age, we lose our testosterone. How do we combat that? Well, you can start with your diet by prioritizing healthy fats and high protein. You're going to help increase your skeletal muscle mass, meaning you're going to create more testosterone. It's literally how it works. So at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to follow the framework. That's all. So you're going to start your day with high protein, moderate fat meals. You're going to limit your carbs. Sugar is basically a non-existent. You really can't be taking in processed sugar, especially when you're starting out and dieting. And then after that, once you integrate with exercise and accountability, the whole thing comes together, and that's where you really start to see these awesome results that my clients get. And integration. So your meal timing is very important, and it has to work for you. If you're somebody that needs to eat on a set schedule every day, that's great. That's how I personally eat, and that's my personal choice. If you're somebody that needs flexibility, like you don't know when you're going to be able to eat your next meal, you prioritize what you need in your eating windows. That's why we call it windows. We go through, we pick blocks. Say we need 3 meals a day. We're going to use breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whatever you want to call it. Meal 1, 2, 3, whatever. And you're going to have an eating window, a window that's going to be optimized for you. Now, another thing that comes into play with the nutrition is obviously your training. If your training doesn't align with your dieting, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work, because you have to have fuel to get through your workouts. This is why when people crash diet, they feel like shit, because when you crash diet and you don't fuel your body properly, your hormones tank and then nothing works. So that's going to be huge. You're going to go forward, and you're going to want to time your meals out based on your training schedule. Again, macro-based flexibility. So within macro-based flexibility, this is just an example on the screen. Say you were about 200 pounds and you wanted to lose weight. This is just a sample. So you have 180 grams of protein. That's going to be your daily minimum target. 200 grams of carbs. That's going to be your maximum daily target. And 80 grams of fat is also going to be a maximum target. Now, you can't crash super far below the 200 carbs and 80 grams of fat, but that comes in with programming and structure. And also, like it says at the bottom here, if you want a burger, like opt for a lean patty and a whole grain bun, sweet potato fries. Boom, there's your burger. Or if you're going out and you have client meals or shit like that, you look at the menu and you're going to view food differently. You're going to be able to view the food in a sense where you can choose your item based on your goals. And it becomes really, really easy once you understand the basic fundamentals of the dieting structure. Hormone optimization through food. So what does this mean? When you have an extra 20 pounds, you're suppressing your testosterone, you're spiking your cortisol. Cortisol is the body's stress hormone. The more stressed you are, the more fat you hold. That is facts. And the reason that is facts is because, let's think about it. When you weigh more, you have more stress on your body and how it functions. So, when you're weighing 300 pounds, for example, and it's hard for your body to get up a flight of stairs or roll out of bed in the morning, that causes stress, that spikes your cortisol, and then it turns into a suppression on your testosterone. So not only does the food help you lose the weight, but in turn, the food will then help you increase your natural levels of testosterone, because now you're going to be switching your eating philosophy from guessing and eating randomly to eating strategically and eating the proper food with the proper nutrients that are going to guarantee you the results that you desire. Now, executive integration, this is another one. So a lot of guys, they have client lunches, this, that, the other thing, and then, they don't know what to eat. So when you go out to a restaurant, and this is what I do for my clients, and you send me a menu, I will literally pick your lunch. There's usually 2 to 3 options on there that I can recommend that are going to fit within the guidelines. But generally speaking, you don't want to walk into a restaurant or a meeting or something and not have a plan. Because if you go in without a plan, you're never, ever, ever going to stick to your results. And then you're going to eat something like crap. Then you're going to feel like crap. Then the next day, you're not going to have fuel for your workouts, and nothing is going to work the same. And then family meals. So one thing that I do for my clients also is we work on using food for family. Obviously, kids can be pretty picky. Your wives are not going to eat what you want to eat. So what we do is we take macro-based meal planning and we alter it just slightly. So, things like mac and cheese. Anabolic mac and cheese. Who's ever heard of that? Well, I have a recipe for you that will 100% satisfy your entire family and keep you well on track to your goals, optimizing your food as fuel and not eating, the hamburger helper or the box Kraft mac and cheese or, whatever's not healthy. You don't want to do that. So you have a system in action, basically. So every day you're going to have your tracking. You track your food every day. Once you start tracking your food every day, then you're going to make weekly adjustments based on your progress. If you're not losing weight, then you need to alter your food intake. If you're losing weight too fast, you want to alter your food intake in an increase. If you lose weight too fast, it may look really good on a scale, but again, you're just going to feel like shit and it's not going to get you anywhere. And then monthly, you take a broad picture and then you try to bring it into a magnifying glass. Once you have that big picture of a month of straight tracking every single day, that's where you really learn how to alter and tweak within the flexibility of the diet. You'll find out what works. You'll find out what foods are fueling you better. Say, you have a dinner one night and you wake up the next day and you feel kind of sluggish. So that could be a bunch of things. It could be too many carbs before bed. It could be too high in fat, because if you eat too much fat in the nighttime, it's going to feel like sludge in your stomach, and your body has to work really, really hard to digest these heavy ass meals that you guys are eating so late into the evening, or just eating in general. Meal prep marathons, everything that I do is designed to be cooked within an hour or 2 at the most. No matter what your cooking situation is, I can help break that down for you. It's very simple. It's what I practice every single week. I do it myself. I live this life. I coach this life. And everybody that I coach has results, and they learn so many crazy things about the way meal prep can change how you view food. Tupperware marathon, that's kind of up to you. I put it in here because technically, really, all these meals can be prepared within 20 to 30 minutes that I provide to you. I meal prep everything. That's a personal preference, so I do have Tupperware, but that's fine. That really goes on your timing. Most of you guys are really busy, so meal prep's going to be huge. If it takes you 2 hours to cook 40 meals during the week and your fridge is lined with cooked food, you're never going to have to worry about what you're doing. And then food to fuel transformation. Obviously, right here, this is Joey. He worked really, really fucking hard for 180 days. And obviously, you can see the results are there. And honestly, he had no idea how to track his food before he got with me. And he's got a 3-year-old daughter at home. And guess what? She eats all the same foods that him and his wife now eat, because the foods I provide to him are strategically aligned within his goals. It just makes it easy. And then you know, once you get to that point where he is on the right there, fully transformed, looking fucking way better, it just becomes a part of your life. So now that you've got the overview and you've got a kind of rough way of learning how to diet, hit me back in the DMs, and I'd love to hear what you thought. And if you have any questions, I can answer them there. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to follow J Pratt Fitness on Instagram. I post stuff like this all the time. And let's get some fucking gains going. Let's get some progress.